Lipids are nonpolar and do not dissolve in water, mostly because they are made up of hydrocarbons. They also contain 9 calories per gram compared to 4 calories per gram in carbs and proteins. Lipids mostly function in fat storage for energy. However, their hydrophobic nature makes them useful as a waxy covering for plants and oily substances in animals to help repel water. Lipids are also useful in shock absorption of organs, as well as insulation for those organisms that live in cooler environments. Lipids also make up the bulk of cell membranes, as well as many different hormones. Hydrocarbons are nonpolar molecules that contain only carbon and hydrogen. Because they share electrons evenly, more energy is stored between hydrocarbons, giving lipids more energy per gram. Lipids do not dissolve in water because they have a major hydrocarbon component called a fatty acid. A fatty acid is a hydrocarbon chain bonded to a carboxyl. Fats contain 2 main components, a glycerol and a fatty acid chain. The number of carbons in a fatty acid chain can range from 4 to 36. Another name for fats are called triglycerides. Unsaturated fatty acids have at least one double bond within the chain. Double bonds between carbons in a hydrocarbon chain cause a kink in the hydrocarbon chain, preventing the close packing of hydrocarbon tails and reducing hydrophobic interactions. These are liquid at room temperature and are often referred to as plant oils. Olive oil, corn oil, and safflower oil are all examples of unsaturated fats. Unsaturated fats help with the lowering of blood cholesterol levels. Saturated fats have more chemical energy than unsaturated fats since they lack that double bond. It creates more hydrocarbon bonds, which equals more energy. These are solid at room temperature and are often made from animal fats, but don't be fooled. Coconut oil also contains saturated fats as well. Saturated fats can build up in arteries, causing plaque formation. How quickly molecules move within and across membranes is a function of temperature and the structure of the hydrocarbon tails in the bilayer. The more unsaturated fats that are found within the cell membrane, the easier things can move through. The more saturated fats, the less things can move through the plasma membrane. Trans fats can exist naturally, but the food industry will artificially take oil-containing lipids and make them semi-solid by causing the cis formation of an unsaturated fatty acid into a trans formation. Margarine, some peanut butters, and shortening contain these and are often linked to bad cholesterol. Now, trans fats are used by fewer and fewer industries, restaurants, and industrial companies because we have seen the rise in bad cholesterol because of this. Omega fatty acids are required by humans, but not made by them. These types of molecules are deemed essential nutrients. A healthy fat that's derived from fish, it has also been linked to lower risk of heart attack, lower levels of triglycerides in blood, decreased blood clotting, and reduces inflammation. Fats have a bad reputation, but in moderation, they are an important form of energy storage and necessary to dissolve fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A and vitamin D. Phospholipids are amphipathic, meaning they have a polar and nonpolar region. The head region consists of a glycerol and a phosphate, as well as a charged group, which contains a highly polar covalent bond. This allows it to come in contact with water. The tail region is comprised of 2 nonpolar fatty acid chains. This causes it to repel away from water. When placed in a solution, phospholipid heads interact with water while the tails do not, allowing these lipids to form membranes spontaneously with the tails facing away from water and the heads facing towards it. Phospholipids also can create micelles, which act as vesicles to help move materials into and out of the cell, as well as within the cell. Some lipids form waxes that prevent water from sticking to surfaces. Waxes can be found on leaves and bird feathers, and that helps to make these things waterproof. Steroids are made up of 4 rings in a fatty acid chain. They are hydrophobic and insoluble in water. Cholesterol is the most common steroid and helps to strengthen the plasma membrane within the phospholipid bilayer. They can also act as a precursor molecule to help build some hormones like testosterone and estradiol. Cholesterol also helps synthesize vitamin D and helps to digest fats in our food. In our next video, we'll be looking at proteins and nucleic acids.